A realtor listed his property, a title company drew up the contract, and a buyer wired the money, but the man who actually owned the house had no clue what was going on. He never got a phone call, he never signed anything, and the first time he heard about it, the money was already gone. And here's the part that should worry you is that every document in that sale looked legitimate because in a way, they were. I'm Daniel Rodriguez from Visionary IT Security, and this is RepSec Wednesday. Welcome to another episode of RepSec Wednesday, where we break down events in the news and how they affect you. Everything from influencer security, brand security, executive protection, and anything else that involves the gray space of cybersecurity. And let's get into today's episode. On June 16th, the FBI issued a public service announcement, alert number 1-061626-PSA. Criminals impersonating the owners of vacant property and selling it without the owner's knowledge. And before we get into the how, there's one word that you need to know, which is parcel. So parcel is just a piece of land with a boundary and an ID number tracked by your county. Your house sits on a parcel, so does an empty lot. So the county doesn't care if anything is built on it because to the record, they're the same kind of thing. And that matters because a record is a target, not the dirt itself that the land is on or the parcel. So phase one is the criminal builds an identity. So they put together that fake driver's license, that fake passport, an Outlook email address that looks legit, and a phone number generated through voice over internet protocol or VoIP. And that means that the phone number isn't tied to a phone company or to a physical line. It's actually a software and anyone can get one in about 2 minutes, and they pick that area code and they throw it away afterwards. So when you see a local number, you assume that's a local person, but that assumption is now free to fake. So how do these attackers get your information in the first place? So the FBI actually names the sources. So you have the county or state public websites, you have data brokers, you have stolen account information, you have phishing attempts, and even purchase from the dark web. And by the way, a data broker is a company whose entire business it is collecting facts about you and selling them. So these credentials or any type of information is not stolen when it comes from the data brokers. And these things are bought, scraped, and merged from public records, stored loyalty cards, app permissions, and it's all legal, and there's thousands of them. So phase two, they contact a local realtor and a title company, pose as you, and draft real contracts. So the FBI notes one case that used a fictitious deed to make the impersonation convincing. And a deed is the document that proves who owns that parcel. So basically, once you forge that, you forge the answer to the only question anyone in the transaction is going to ask. And the title company is supposed to be the check here. So their job is confirming the seller actually owns what they're selling by searching through the county records. But if the impersonator matches what the county record says, the search comes back clean and the check passes. And it was never designed to ask whether the person holding the ID is the person on record. And that comes into phase three with a co-conspirator. So that money from the point of sale goes to a co-conspirator attorney in a different state. And here's some numbers because the scale matters here. In 2025, the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center took over 1 million complaints and losses of $20.877 billion. And this is up 26% from the year before. And real estate fraud specifically, you have 12,368 complaints with $275.1 million in reported losses. Now, I want you to hold that number lightly because that's reported fraud. So if someone sells your land that's vacant and you haven't driven past it in over a year, you're not even part of that statistic yet. And you're not in it until you found out. And the real estate number is almost certainly the floor, not the ceiling. And here's something that should sting. The FBI runs something called the Recovery Asset Team, and they try to freeze fraudulent wires before they vanish. So in 2025, they worked 3,900 incidents and froze $679 million out of $1.6 billion attempted. And that's 58% success rate. And it's genuinely impressive. But at the end of the day, look at what it requires. Somebody has to report it fast for that team to respond, because the kill chain only works if the alarm actually goes off in the first place. And when you have these vacant pieces of land that nobody's home to hear it, unfortunately, that's a whole structural problem. And in most fraud, you're the one being deceived, so you have the chance to catch it. But here, you're being impersonated, and the people that are being deceived are complete strangers that have no reason to call you. So here are some things to do. Number one, Your county recorder, register of deeds, or county clerk, whatever they're called, may offer a notification service that emails or texts you whenever a document is recorded in your name. So, 4 states already require every county to offer it, and these are Arizona, Florida, Illinois, and Utah. Many other counties do it voluntarily, so you just need to check. And it's usually free and takes about 10 minutes. So do it today for every parcel of land that you own. 2, pull your title insurance policy and look for post-policy protection. So title insurance normally covers problems that existed before you bought it. And post-policy protection covers things that happen after, like forgery. So the FBI says standard owner's policies may cover the legal costs to clear your title. May. So read yours now, not later. Number 3, if you're buying land, the FBI says to send a certified letter to the address on the land tax record, because at the end of the day, an impersonator can't receive mail at your actual address. Number 4, 5 states now require photo ID to file real estate documents, and that includes Arkansas, Colorado, Georgia, Illinois, and Texas. So if you're not at one of those, that's a gap, but knowing it exists is worth something. And number 5 is from me and Visionary IT Security, and it's go look at what your county publishes about you right now on your phone, and it usually includes the name, mailing address, parcel, and that's phase 1's raw material. You probably can't remove it, but the person planning to impersonate you already knows what's there, so you should too. Here's something that I want to leave you with. A lot of the time when we talk about identity theft, we think of someone trying to impersonate you in order to spend your money. And this is someone being you in a room full of professionals while you're asleep or off at work and not realizing someone's spending your money. And the defense isn't a better password because there's no password on a county deed record. In order to protect against all these scams and modern attack vectors that are coming out, especially in 2026, the defense is now notification. So something that tells you the moment that your name gets used. And that's it. That's the whole thing. 10 minutes with your county recorder's website. Do it for every parcel that you own. And if this was useful, subscribe and like this video and send it to whoever in your family owns land that they haven't visited in a while. And stay safe.